My name is Bill Shank. I'm a flight instructor at Hilton Head Flyers, and I've been a flight instructor since here at Hilton Head Flyers since 2006. And before that, I was a flight instructor with the Air Force. Most proud of the fact that I've had many graduates who've become private pilots and instrument rated and commercial, primarily in the private pilot area. Over the years, I have successfully had 100% success rate with my students in getting their private pilot rating, and I'm very proud of that, to be honest with you. What sets a Hilton Head Flight School apart from any other flight school is simply a combination of excellent instructors and excellent aircraft, and this whole concept of safety. Typically, when you learn how to fly in pretty beat up aircraft, but Hilton Head Flyers has excellent aircraft, technologically advanced aircraft, which are superior to most any other flight school that you're going to see. My flying experience goes back to when I first had an opportunity to fly. My father's college roommate arrived and invited me on a flight when I was 16 years old to fly from Washington, D.C. to New York. And somehow when I completed that flight, it set the seed for me for the rest of my life. Although I didn't learn how to fly until years later, I eventually started flying in 1989 full-time. Not full-time, but I got my licenses through the military instructors, and I spent many years in Okinawa, Japan, flying different islands. Eventually ended up doing a lot of commercial flying for them, tours around the different islands. And approximately 25 years, 3,000 hours later, I've been a CFI here at Hilton Head Flyers since 2006. And before that, I was a CFI, CFII in the Air Force Flight Training Facility in Okinawa, Japan. You can start flying when you're 15 years old if you so desire. You can solo when you're 16, and when you're 17, you can become a licensed pilot. In fact, I had the youngest licensed pilot in the United States for about 3 weeks. He's currently got an instrument rating, and he's still 17 years old, one of the youngest instrument rated pilots in the United States. On the flip side of that, I've had students that are all the way up. I've had a World War II vet that was a student of mine, still is actually. He's 87 years old. So it's not rocket science. Anybody can learn how to fly if you want, and you make the effort to put in the time to learn to fly and study the books and materials. It's available for anybody who has the interest. Every student that comes to me to learn how to fly has a different learning style, and it's part of my job as a teacher and instructor to analyze and to help them achieve their goal. So I have to find out whether they're a visual person or auditory, and work the curriculum around that student. Learning how to fly an airplane is not rocket science. You don't have to be the most coordinated guy on the block. You will learn how to fly if you are motivated to want to learn how to fly, are willing to put in the time studying and the time flying to learn the maneuvers. You will learn how to fly. So that would be my best encouraging statement I could give to any prospective student. One of the funnest experiences was when they first take off, their first opportunity. They put the throttle full in, they sit back, and finally they pull this thing off the ground. They rotate, so to speak, and then I turn and I look at them and I see their face and I say, "You're flying." And I see this huge smile come over their face. That's very satisfying to me. But the other part of that is, at the end, when the training is done, 2.5 to 3 months later, is graduation. And that's very satisfying to have as many students as I've had. I do have a 100% success rate with private pilots, and if they complete, they're gonna make it. So I'm very proud of that statistic, and I hope to have many more students in the rest of my career. And I am currently semi-retired.